The arrival. The early warning system at Lunar Base Armstrong blared to life at 3:47 hours Earth Standard Time. Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen jolted awake from her brief nap, nearly knocking over her lukewarm coffee as she rushed to the monitoring station. "Talk to me, Specialist Rivera," she ordered, her eyes adjusting to the bright holographic display. "Ma'am, deep space sensors are picking up multiple objects entering the solar system," Rivera replied, his fingers dancing across the control panel. "They're coming in fast from the direction of Alpha Centauri." Sarah leaned closer to the display, watching as hundreds of red dots appeared at the edge of their sensor range. Each dot represented a vessel larger than anything humanity had ever constructed. "How many?" "Current count is at 782 and rising. Formation suggests organization, not a natural phenomenon." Sarah's throat tightened. First contact. Humanity had been broadcasting signals into space for over a century, hoping for a response. Now it seemed someone had answered, with what looked like an invasion fleet. "Alert UNDF Command. Initiate First Contact Protocol Omega," she ordered, reaching for the secure communication terminal. "And get me Admiral Okafor." Within 30 minutes, the United Nations Defense Force was at full alert. Military bases worldwide prepared for potential hostilities while civilian governments began quiet emergency preparations. In the White House Situation Room, President Elena Vasquez gathered her advisors. "What do we know about them?" she asked Admiral Okafor, who appeared on the main screen from UNDF headquarters in Geneva. "Very little, Madam President. Their vessels are massive. The smallest is approximately the size of an aircraft carrier. They're decelerating now, taking position just beyond Mars' orbit." Dr. Marcus Wong, director of the Exobiology Institute, adjusted his glasses nervously. "Have they made any attempt at communication?" As if in answer, every screen in the room flickered. The presidential seal disappeared, replaced by a face that sent a chill through everyone present. The being had scales rather than skin, with ridges protruding from its skull. Vertical pupil eyes glowed amber against coal-black sclera. When it opened its mouth, rows of needle-sharp teeth gleamed beneath fluorescent lights. "People of Earth," the creature spoke in perfect English, its voice a rumbling bass that seemed to vibrate the room. "I am Supreme Commander Zoltek of the Draconian Armada. Your world is now under our protection and authority. You will surrender all governmental control to Draconian representatives within 72 Earth hours." President Vasquez stood taller. "This is President Elena Vasquez of the United Nations of Earth. We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization, but we do not accept demands for surrender." The alien's expression didn't change, if their facial muscles even worked that way. But something like amusement flickered in those predatory eyes. "Your welcome is unnecessary. Your acceptance is irrelevant. The Draconian Empire has claimed 10,000 worlds across 17 galaxies. Earth is simply the next. Prepare for our arrival." The transmission cut abruptly, leaving the room in stunned silence. "How did they speak English?" Secretary of Defense Kimathi finally asked. "Universal translation technology," Dr. Wong suggested. "Any sufficiently advanced civilization would have developed it." "That's not our primary concern," Admiral Okafor interjected. "Based on preliminary analysis, a single one of their vessels carries enough firepower to level a continent. We're outmatched by orders of magnitude." President Vasquez's jaw tightened. "Options. Diplomatically, we can stall, request meetings, ask questions about their intentions, their system of governance," suggested Secretary of State Ramos. "Militarily," Admiral Okafor hesitated. "We deploy everything we have and hope for a miracle." At Lunar Base Armstrong, Lieutenant Commander Chen monitored the alien fleet's movements with growing concern. The massive vessels had arranged themselves in a precise formation around Mars, but several smaller craft had detached from the main fleet. "Scout ships," Rivera observed. "Looks like they're heading toward Earth." Sarah tracked the incoming vessels on her display. Alert all UND of orbital platforms. Do not engage unless fired upon. I repeat, do not engage. The first scout ship entered Earth's upper atmosphere over the Pacific Ocean. Tracking systems followed its descent until, without warning, the signal vanished. Did we lose it? Sarah demanded. Rivera checked his instruments. Negative, Commander. All systems functioning normally. The ship just disappeared. Before Sarah could process this information, a second scout ship entered atmosphere. Like the first, it vanished from all sensors once it reached approximately 100 kilometers altitude. At the Arecibo Radio Astronomy Center in Puerto Rico, Dr. Eliza Osei noticed something strange in the electromagnetic readings. The moment each alien ship disappeared, there was a brief but significant spike in Earth's magnetic field. Dr. Reyes, look at this, she called to her colleague. These energy patterns, they're not random. Dr. Miguel Reyes studied the readings. It's almost as if Earth's magnetic field is responding to the alien technology. Not just responding, Eliza said slowly, excitement building in her voice. It's disrupting it somehow. Earth's natural electromagnetic field might be incompatible with their technology. On the Draconian command ship, Supreme Commander Zoltak received troubling news from his science officer. Explain again how he lost contact with 2 scout vessels, he growled, sharp claws tapping impatiently on his command chair. Supreme Commander, both ships entered the planet's atmosphere and simply vanished from our sensors, the science officer reported, keeping his eyes downcast. No distress signals, no debris, nothing. Impossible. Nothing can defeat Draconian technology. There is something else. Supreme Commander, the science officer hesitated. Our historical archives contain a brief reference to this star system. Ancient texts marked it with warning symbols. Zoltak's eyes narrowed. Warnings of what? The texts don't say specifically, only that this region should be avoided. Superstitious nonsense, Zoltak snarled. Send another scout ship with enhanced shielding. I want answers, not excuses. Back on Earth, UNDF Command received Dr. Osei's preliminary findings with cautious optimism. You're saying Earth itself might protect us? General Lin asked incredulously. It's more complex than that, Dr. Osei explained via video conference. Something about our planet's electromagnetic field seems fundamentally incompatible with their technology. It's not attacking them. It's more like oil and water not mixing. Can we weaponize this effect? Admiral Okafor asked. Potentially, Dr. Reyes interjected. We've been developing a system to strengthen Earth's magnetic field as protection against solar flares. With modifications, we might be able to amplify whatever effect is causing their ships to vanish. President Vasquez made a quick decision. Do it. In the meantime, we'll try to buy time diplomatically. She opened a channel to the Draconian fleet. Supreme Commander Zoltak, this is President Vasquez. We request a face-to-face meeting to discuss terms before any surrender. After a long pause, Zoltak's reptilian visage appeared again. Your request is granted. I will send an envoy to your United Nations building in 24 hours. What the humans couldn't see was the concern spreading through the Draconian command. A third scout ship, despite enhanced shielding, had disappeared just like the others. Zoltak's scientists were baffled and increasingly alarmed. Supreme Commander, his advisor whispered, there are stories among the elder races about planets that resist conquest, worlds with natural defenses beyond our understanding. I don't believe in fairy tales, Zoltak snapped, but doubt had begun to creep into his mind. As Earth scientists worked frantically to understand and amplify the planet's protective properties, archaeologists made a startling discovery. Dr. Leila Kauri, excavating an ancient site in Egypt's Valley of the Kings, found hieroglyphics unlike any previously documented. These symbols, she told her colleague, Dr. James Watkins, they'd match the formation patterns of the alien fleet. That's impossible, Watkins replied. These carvings are over 5,000 years old. Yet as they continued their examination, the evidence became undeniable. The ancient Egyptians had somehow recorded detailed information about the Draconian ships, including warnings about their intentions and a celebration of Earth's natural protection. Similar discoveries followed rapidly around the globe. Cave paintings in Australia, stone carvings in Peru, ancient manuscripts in China, all depicted the same reptilian beings, the same ships, the same failed invasion. This has happened before, Dr. Cowrie realized. They've tried to conquer Earth in the past and failed. At UNDF headquarters, Admiral Okafor received increasingly bizarre reports from the monitoring stations tracking the Draconian fleet. The massive vessels were experiencing power fluctuations, navigation errors, and communications disruptions, all growing worse the closer they moved to Earth. It's like they're fighting against an invisible current, Sarah Chen reported from Luna Base. Their ships are struggling just to maintain position. It's like they're fighting against an invisible current, Sarah Chen reported from Luna Base. Their ships are struggling just to maintain position. Just as Earth's leaders began to hope, a single Draconian transport managed to break through, crashing, rather than landing in the Siberian wilderness. UNDF special forces surrounded the crash site, expecting hostile alien warriors. Instead, they found confused and frightened Draconian soldiers, their weapons non-functional, their communications dead. The invaders had become the vulnerable ones. As the main Draconian fleet began its approach toward Earth for the final confrontation, scientists worldwide worked to boost Earth's natural electromagnetic field. Whatever had protected humanity in the ancient past might once again be their salvation. The question remained, what would happen when the full might of the Draconian Armada encountered Earth's mysterious defense? The answer would soon reshape humanity's understanding of their planet and their place in the galaxy. Earth's secret guardian. The skies above Earth glowed with unearthly light as the first wave of the Draconian fleet entered the upper atmosphere. Civilians worldwide watched from hastily established shelters, many recording what they believed might be humanity's final moments. Military personnel braced for the attack that would overwhelm their defenses. But it never came. One by one, like candles being snuffed out, the massive alien warships began to flicker and vanish. First dozens, then hundreds of vessels simply disappeared from radar, visual observation, and even the Draconians' own tracking systems. In UNDF headquarters, Admiral Okafor watched in stunned disbelief as the holographic display showed the invasion force rapidly diminishing. "What are we seeing here?" she demanded. "Are they cloaking? Retreating?" Dr. Osei shook her head, her eyes wide with excitement. "Neither, Admiral. They're being neutralized somehow. The effect that caused the scout ships to disappear is happening on a massive scale." Aboard the Draconian flagship, which had remained at a safe distance beyond the moon's orbit, Supreme Commander Zoltak stared in horror as his mighty armada simply ceased to exist upon approaching Earth. "Impossible," he roared, smashing a control panel with his scaled fist. "Nothing can defeat the Empire's technology." His science officer approached cautiously. "Supreme Commander, we've analyzed the phenomenon. It appears the planet generates a unique energy field that fundamentally disrupts our quantum drive systems. When our ships enter this field, they're displaced." "Displaced where?" Zoltak demanded. "We don't know. They don't appear anywhere in our scans of nearby space." On Earth, Dr. Marcus Wong was leading a team investigating the crashed Draconian transport in Siberia. The alien survivors had been secured. Their technology rendered useless by whatever force protected Earth. They had surrendered without resistance. "Your weapons don't work here," Dr. Wong explained to the Draconian officer, who identified himself as Captain Morth. "Neither do your communications or most of your technology." The reptilian being hissed softly. "The ancient curse. So it's real." Ancient curse. Morth's vertical pupils contracted in the bright light of the research facility. "There are legends among our people, stories we dismiss as superstition, about planets that resist conquest, worlds that are protected somehow." Meanwhile, Dr. Layla Cowrie had assembled an international team of archaeologists to study the ancient depictions of previous Draconian encounters. In the depths of a previously unexplored chamber beneath Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, they made a breakthrough discovery. These aren't just warnings, she explained over a secure video call to world leaders. They're instructions. The carved stone walls depicted humanoid figures manipulating a global network of crystalline structures. Modern ground-penetrating radar had confirmed the presence of massive quartz deposits at precisely the locations marked in these ancient maps, forming a perfect geometric pattern around the planet. Earth isn't just naturally resistant to their technology, Dr. Cowrie continued. Someone, or something, engineered this defense system thousands of years ago. President Vasquez leaned forward. Are you saying aliens built a defense system into our planet? Not necessarily aliens as we understand them, Dr. Wong interjected from his facility in Siberia. According to Captain Morth, there are stories of an elder race that predates even the Draconian Empire, beings they call the architects, who shaped worlds for purposes beyond our comprehension. At the South Pole Research Station, geologist Dr. Hannah Svensson detected unusual seismic activity. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, something was awakening, a massive structure of unknown origin, pulsing with energy that matched the frequency of Earth's strengthened electromagnetic. Similar structures activated simultaneously around the globe. Beneath Monument Valley in Arizona, under the Mariana Trench, within Mount Kilimanjaro, and in dozens of other locations corresponding exactly to the ancient maps. It's like Earth has an immune system, Dr. Svensson reported, and it's fully activated now. The remaining Draconian vessels retreated to a safe distance, maintaining orbit around Saturn, while Supreme Commander Zoltak faced an unprecedented crisis. Half his fleet had vanished, and the conquest of Earth, what should have been a routine operation, had become impossible. Send a message to Imperial Command, he ordered reluctantly. Request instructions regarding planet Earth. The response came swiftly. Designation: Protected World. Classification: Architect Sanctuary. Retreat immediately. Do not attempt further contact. Zoltak stared at the message in disbelief. In the 1,000-year history of the Draconian Empire, no world had ever received such designation. What made Earth so special? Back on Earth, Captain Morth provided crucial information to the human scientists questioning him. Your world is one of the architect sanctuaries, he explained. Planets specifically engineered to be uninhabitable to certain advanced technologies. We thought they were myths. But why? Dr. Wong asked. Why would these architects protect Earth specifically? Morth's expression shifted to something humans might interpret as reverence. The legends say the architects saw potential in certain species, races that might one day join them among the stars. They created sanctuaries where these species could develop naturally, without interference from conquering empires. In Washington, D.C., President Vasquez addressed the United Nations General Assembly, now expanded to include representatives from every nation. Today, we have learned that Earth holds a special place in our galaxy, she began. Not because of our technology or our military strength, but because something in our distant past marked humanity for protection. The ancient defense system continued to maintain its vigilance. The remaining Draconian ships couldn't approach closer than Mars orbit without experiencing catastrophic systems failures. Several attempted to force their way through with enhanced shielding, only to vanish like their predecessors. Scientists worldwide studied the activated structures with growing wonder. The technology was beyond their comprehension. Crystalline networks that somehow tapped into Earth's natural magnetic field, amplifying and modifying it to create a barrier against specific types of quantum mechanics that powered advanced interstellar drives. It doesn't affect our technology because we're still using relatively primitive systems, Dr. Osei explained during a global broadcast. Our electronics, our rockets, they're too simple to be disrupted by this field. A week after the failed invasion, a different alien vessel approached Earth. Unlike the angular, metallic Draconian ships, this one appeared almost organic, a graceful, translucent structure that pulsed with soft blue light. "We're receiving a transmission," Lieutenant Commander Chen reported from Luna Base Armstrong. "Different frequency, different encryption algorithm." The face that appeared on screens worldwide was humanoid but clearly alien, with iridescent skin and eyes that contained galaxies. "People of Earth," the being spoke, its voice resonating with harmonic overtones. "I am Emissary Tall of the Galactic Concord. We have observed your encounter with the Draconian Empire with great interest." President Vasquez stepped forward to respond. "We welcome peaceful contact, Emissary. We have much to learn about our place in the galaxy." "Indeed," Tall replied with what appeared to be a smile. "Your world has revealed itself as one of the legendary architect sanctuaries, planets of special significance in the cosmic order. The defenses that protected you were placed here over 1,000,000 years ago, awaiting the day when such protection would be needed. And now that we know about them," Admiral Okafor asked. "Now you have been noticed," Tall said simply. "The Draconian Empire has retreated and will not return. But other civilizations will come, not to conquer, but to welcome you." The revelation transformed humanity overnight. The knowledge that Earth had been designated for protection eons ago, that some ancient advanced intelligence had seen something worth preserving in the early ancestors of humanity, sparked a global renaissance of art, science, and philosophy. The captured Draconians, stranded on a world where most of their technology was useless, were granted asylum. They became reluctant ambassadors, providing insights into galactic politics and helping humanity prepare for its new role. Captain Morth, addressing the United Nations 6 months after the failed invasion, offered a perspective that resonated deeply. "For millennia, my people expanded through conquest, believing strength was measured by worlds claimed and species subjugated. Yet here, on this protected world, I have learned that true strength may lie in what the architects saw in you: creativity, adaptability, and an unyielding spirit that needs no advanced technology to thrive." As Earth scientists began to understand and work with the ancient defense system, they discovered it could be calibrated, allowing friendly vessels to visit while maintaining protection against hostile forces. The Galactic Concord established an embassy in Earth orbit, introducing humanity to a wider community of civilizations. And somewhere in the vast network of crystalline structures that encircled the planet, monitoring systems noted humanity's progress and transmitted data across the stars, to where no one knew. The architects remained a mystery, but their legacy had forever changed Earth's destiny. The disappearance of the Draconian Armada had been just the beginning. Earth's journey to the stars would follow a path unlike any other species in the galaxy, protected, observed, and perhaps guided by forces that had recognized humanity's potential long before humans themselves.